Hello again. Thanks for joining us. This is the 20 and 20 podcast, episode number 2. I'm T.O, and I'm here with the star of our show, Mr. 20 and 20 himself, Kermit Washington. How's it going, Kermit?
Very good. I'm glad to be here, and I'm excited about our podcast, and people are getting to know it on Facebook. I keep telling them where they can find it, and we're getting good response, and we really just started.
Yeah, I was really happy with the amount of positive feedback we're getting, the amount of engagement. We're getting all these good comments, and people seem to be really receptive on it. A few people that I didn't know they would be interested in the subject matter at all. I was pretty surprised that they liked it. But I'm very happy with the way we were able to come right out of the box with something that's getting a good amount of attention.
Well, I think we're to the advantage in a lot of sense, because I know so many ex-ball players or current ball players and people that people want to hear from. And as you have told me, there's a lot of people that were great players in the past that people haven't been going to them and doing podcasts with. And as you know, there's a lot of guys that were superstars that these young kids really don't even know their names.
Right.
If you say Bernard King to some of these guys, they say, Bernard King who? Or
right.
Elvin Hayes, or all these other guys like that. There were stars in my time. They'd never heard of them. Now,
Yeah.
Dr. J, a few of them have heard of it.
Right.
But now you had the biggest star. He was like the Michael Jordan in the day.
Yeah.
And they don't even know who he was. Right. Dr. J is another player that really saved the NBA.
Sure.
You had quite a few players that really kept the NBA alive when it was struggling. And Dr. J put so much infusion, I guess maybe that's the right word, into life of the NBA, where people really wanted to see him and that 76er team play.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of these guys have great stories. They had great experiences, something that a lot of them we would be really interested in hearing about and learning about. And even with the Rock on the last episode, there was just so many things that weren't out there that he was able to talk about with his story, because it just wasn't pushed out. So along with not having something recently going on that I don't think people would have been familiar with. I personally had seen him fight, I believe 3 times. I seen both of the
Lennox Lewis
fights, and I saw the Holyfield fight where he got they had to stop it because of the headbutt and the big hematoma that he had and all that. But that was it. It just wasn't a whole lot of content about him out there. So when you see how engaging he is and how articulate, how business savvy, it's good to see success stories. I personally, they had a show called Broke a couple years ago on ESPN. And they talk about guys who blew through fortunes and things like that. And I just personally don't. It's interesting to a degree, but I just don't like that. I like success stories.
Well, I think so. You know what it reminds me of? Years ago, Wide World of Sports used to have Up Close and Personal. And these athletes, if they were Olympic athletes or professional athletes, we never got to know them until this show came on, where they went up close and personal, and you saw them as just a regular person.
Right.
And then you learn so much about them, just like with The Rock. You don't know, he was a heavyweight champion.
Right.
Okay, but because now in boxing, if you want to see a great boxing match, you got to pay for it. So It becomes such a small group of people that see it, and then they learn about it. We learn about it after the fight's over.
Yeah.
So before, years and years ago, you knew everything because they had Up Close and Personal, Wide World of Sports. Everything was free.
Yeah.
Now you got to pay for almost anything that's, upper echelon of boxing or UFC or MMA or whatever. Yeah. And that's changed everything. So we don't really know who these people are.
Yeah.
And one thing about this, doing a podcast, you learn a lot about these people. What makes them tick. What makes them want to be the champion? What makes them willing to pay the price that it takes to be very good in any sport?
Right. So speaking of paying, I know I'm paying a good amount for the NFL Sunday ticket. What are your thoughts on what you've seen lately with the NFL?
I love the NFL. People think that I follow basketball more. I don't follow it as much as football. I always loved football more than anything else. Right now, watching the games, I get disappointed. And it's a lot of teams because sometimes they're making stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
Just like watching how New England lost the other day by trying. The game was tied. It was going to go to overtime, and they're laterally it back, trying to have a score. Then they lateral it right on back to the Oakland Raider team, and they run for a touchdown and end the game. I mean, you don't want to make mistakes like that because football is not like basketball. Basketball, we lose the game. Okay, we lose the game. In football, you can lose. I mean, you have injuries galore. And not only you lose the game, you get beat up, and it's not pleasant. Or you're playing in 30-degree weather or 27-degree weather.
Yeah.
But I love football. Washington Redskins was kind of disappointing in them. Philadelphia now that hurt is hurt. Mm-hmm. So I just hope that he's healthy because the injuries are just pile up in the NFL because the guys are bigger and stronger, faster, quicker. Yeah. As I said to you before, when I was growing up, the offensive linemen were 240 pounds. Right. Defensive linemen were 240, 250. The safeties were 180, 190.
Yeah.
Now they got guys 220.
Right.
As safeties running 4.4. So something's got to give all the time. So I don't like all the injuries, but
For sure.
I just believe that Buffalo is a tough team.
Yeah.
Because of the quarterback. I believe that Dallas has a chance. I think other teams are so disappointing. Like I live in Vegas, and the Raiders, very disappointing with them. But, you have teams out there like Philly. I hope Philly does well. New York is collapsing a little bit. The Giants. The Jets are collapsing a little bit. Redskins, well, not the Skins, the Commanders now are not playing as well as they were. But, I just love football. I mean, I just love football. But there are not as many stars as there used to be in the game. Okay, because if I ask somebody to tell me the top 5 running backs nowadays, they're going to stumble.
Yeah. That's tough.
But growing up, we knew you had Earl Campbell, Tony Dorsett, you had, just name them, Eric Dickerson, go on and on. That we knew 10 really good running backs that was out there all the time. You could name them, and you say, can't wait to watch this guy play. Nowadays, the top 5, you're going to struggle.
Yeah, they used to be the feature of the offense so much more than now. Now it's so predicated on the passing game. And so it almost seems like they look at those guys as being somewhat disposable, so they don't have long-term contracts. You don't have a player that you're going to see year after year after year on most teams. So the running back's getting hit every single time pretty much that they get the ball too. So I think that it's something that's just been a result of the changing of the game. But no, you're right. I can't name a bunch of running backs now.
The top 5. Name the top 5. Is very, very difficult because they're hurt so much.
Yeah.
And the way they be hitting, as I said, you got big guys hitting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and
they're super explosive now too. I was reading. I mean, not only bigger and stronger, but super, fast. And like I was reading a stat that said that the average vertical leap in the NBA is something like 28 inches, and that the average in the NFL is like 36. So it shows you how much more explosive a lot of those guys, because they have to be, versus a tall guy that can just jump a little bit and maybe.
Yeah. We're talking though about probably defensive backs and running backs.
Yeah,
because not the big guys. But,
no.
But here's the thing: they're bigger and they're stronger, they're faster, and their technique is different. It used to be tackling.
Yeah.
Now it's butting down.
Right. Yeah.
Running into him as hard as you can and butting him down like a billy goat or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and it's dangerous. You got a helmet, but you know something? The game, in a sense, has gotten easier or softer in a sense, where they really protect the quarterback now.
Yeah.
It's sometimes those roughing the passer calls or, gosh, it's just like playing touch football. Now, the defensive back can't touch the guy after 5 yards anymore. Yeah. Well, they used to beat them up all the time, trying just to get open. But now, if you touch them, oh, that's pass interference. It was 5 yards down the field. But a lot of things that we could discuss. But I think people that love football, they love football.
Yeah.
And I love football. Basketball, if there's a good game on, I'll watch. But it's not where I'm looking like Sunday. I'm looking forward to watching football.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do this. We'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll have part 2 of our Hasim the Rahman interview.
Do everything like you love me, and other things like a real G. I don't need nothing you do for me. It's all good, just love me. Do everything like you love me, and other things like a real G. I don't need nothing you do for me. It's all good, just love me.
So why did you get your sons into boxing?
I just feel like I can give them first of all, they had a choice. They want to do it, and for me, I always had resentment to my dad for not letting me play football. So whatever my kids want to do, I'm behind them, and if they pick boxing, I'm an expert into showing them what to do and what not to do and get them to where they want to be. So I feel like I can give them, unprecedented knowledge and the game about the sport of boxing.
My question is, like you, I grew up like you with nothing. So we had nowhere to go but up or dead. We had nothing. But my kids became horrendous athletes because they had everything. And your kids probably grew up with a whole lot more than you had. Do they have it in them to go through the pain that they have to go through to become what you became?
I think that with the way life is now with this social media and with all the things that's out there, I think I think they have a drive. I think they have a drive because now everybody sees everything, and they don't want anybody to see them coming up short. So I think they motivated them by everybody see you. Like some of my fights, people never saw, But it's almost like it's this movie called The Truman Show. You ever see that movie?
No.
Well, it was when Jim Carrey, and he was put in this town, and they was watching everything he did all the time.
Okay.
Right? And he didn't know it, but they was watching him. Every moment of his life was being filmed, right? And it's almost like what you do now. So if you're not training or if you're not 100%, everybody gonna know. If you go to a fight and you lose, everybody's gonna be on social media the next day. It's gonna be there. Like it's like you're under a microscope now. So I think now they have more pressure. Even though they may have more luxuries than I had, they under more pressure than I was under. See, I was able to really come out the grass on them. Nobody knew me when I was coming up. I was able to go knock people out. And it frustrated me that nobody knew me. So I used to look at Ring Magazine. I knock a guy out, nasty, highlight reel knockout. And I look at Ring Magazine, and they didn't put it in there. They would show all the results. And I'm looking for my name, and I didn't see it. And I just got motivated more. Like, okay, I'm going to make them put my name in it. So next person, I'll knock them out even worse. Looking there, I didn't see my name. So I was just like, I'm one of them guys that find something to just give me an edge. So now with my sons, everybody watching you.
That's true.
And not only is everybody watching you, but your dad won the world heavyweight title 3 times. So the onus is on you to come out and do your thing. So if you don't want to put the work in, right? If you don't want to put the work in, that's on you because everybody in the world gonna know in seconds.
That's true.
In seconds. So you might say that they didn't have the hunger, you know, but they got something worse. They got everybody know everything. I was able to come up in relative obscurity.
Yeah, didn't have social network.
Right. Then now anything they do, they gonna know about.
Or
It's under
take
a
picture.
microscope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, I actually think they got it harder than me.
If we could go back, I was going to ask you, you know, you're in the fight with Lennox. You know, you like you said, you catch him. He gives you that look, and, you know, you're probably like riding high as far as your confidence level at that point.
Correct.
And then in the next round, you uncork a right hand. As soon as you hit him, did you think it was over?
Yeah, definitely.
It was a wrap?
If you ever walk back, if you ever go look at the fight, you'll see me just look back over my my shoulder real.
We actually looked at it again yesterday.
Yeah, I was kind of like real cocky, like just looking at it like, yeah, I know he ain't getting up.
Because when he hit the ground and his head bounced,
Yeah,
He was-
but
we noticed that you weren't even looking.
Yeah, I knew.
So I didn't even know you were aware.
I knew it was over though.
Just a walk off.
I knew it was, like you can see, like if you hit somebody, you drop. Like I've dropped people. I dropped several people actually, but you can tell how much you get on that shot, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell by the way they fall. Like some people fall, and you know they're getting up. Like they call it a flash knockdown.
I see.
So they get it right up, and you still in the fight as if you didn't knock them out or knock them down. But then there's sometimes you hit a guy, and you can feel the life just go out of him. You know they gonna be out for it. You know, bring me a Snickers. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere for a while. Like it's gonna be that type of knockout.
Right.
Certain knockouts be that type of knockout. So,
Well,
you know,
could you even begin to describe like how that must have felt when
easy,
you're at the top of the mountain?
I can tell you what was going through my mind when they said it. You want me to tell you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we're here.
Ching, 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 ching.
Jackpot.
I mean, if I tell you anything else, I'll be lying. That was it.
So from that point on, though, when you negotiated for the next fight or with the next fight, you were the one telling them what you wanted.
I always did that.
Okay. So
But I mean,
did
now you had all the leverage too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You're the
yeah, all
champ.
the leverage,
You're
right.
holding all the belts.
Okay, the next fight you fought Lennox, you made more money than he did?
Yeah.
Because most people, I hate to say it, but the boxers, they listen to their managers too much. It seems like they say, okay, what
I
am
don't
supposed
subscribe to that.
I know.
But you have a situation where you know what you want, you know how it works, and you know if it doesn't fit my formula, it doesn't work, right?
It's not happening. No, it's not happening. And see, the problem is like, in most boxers, we deemed as like, stupid, and if you ever hear some boxers, like when I was coming up, boxing was actually a turnoff to me. When I used to look at some guys and I hear them talking after the fight, I'm like, man, what is they talking about? Like they couldn't talk. They be slurring their words and mumbling and really didn't make any sense. So that was kind of a turnoff to me, So, and I just think that it's a stereotype on boxers to this day that like we stupid. Like boxers aren't supposed to be, we're not supposed to question it. Whatever, if they say, if the white man or the right man tell you this is what's happening, oh no, that's it. You're not supposed to host that. Thank you, boss. Good. I get $10. Okay, thank you. That's it. I'm not supposed to negotiate. I'm not supposed to have a mind of my own. I'm not supposed to question what kind of money is on the table. Well, and the people in this country can watch the fight. Well, are they paying or are they getting it for free? Well, then that goes in the pot also, right? Okay, so now we got a little more. Well, what about that country? Oh, what about this country? Well, what about that country? Well, all these foreign rights, is it money? Is it one pot for that? Like, where's the money coming? I want to know everything.
Yeah.
I want to know everything. And no matter what I do or what I did, I always want to know everything. Because I can never make a solid decision based on half information.
Yeah, you want to be fully informed.
I need to be. It's a must.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if you're talking about like different sports, if you say, oh, we're going to split this money 50-50, but
it's 50-50.
But 50-50 of a little piece isn't 50-50.
Right.
That's different.
So I need to know. I need to know the money.
Yeah.
Because I need to know how should I get paid, you know?
Right.
Especially if I'm in the position.
Now, did you pay your managers? Did you get the money and pay them, or the money was cut out and given to them from the promoter or whatever?
It's cut out.
Okay.
But when I get you to the fight, I sign for my money and I tell them what's allowed to go to them. This amount or that amount. And then it got to the point where I had no contracts, but I still had managers. So I got all the money and I paid them myself.
That's good.
What I wanted to pay them. So actually I did both.
That's why your son said he didn't play, he didn't fight the young man, what's his name again?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, he says, I'd have nothing left after paying everybody.
That wasn't the entire reason. I'm saying they was playing games with the weight. I mean, they said we was talking about what the weight was going to be, and then they said, okay, you got to 11 o'clock to give us the weight, and then after we get out the phone with them saying we got to 11 o'clock, it's probably about 2 o'clock. Then 5 minutes later, we see a press release saying the fight off.
Mm.
This is the way they do that.
Why did they do that? They didn't want to fight?
They didn't want to fight
They
him?
didn't want to fight.
I mean, it sounds like if you're going to throw a bunch of obstacles, you know, it's like, it doesn't sound like they're really.
I mean, I'm
highly
saying even if
motivated.
you're not throwing obstacles, right? If you're in that agreement, right, and you say you got to 11 o'clock, and then at 2:05 you go and cancel the fight. I mean, that's disingenuous. For whatever reason, you know, for whatever the reason was, you didn't really stick to your end of the bargain. You can't say we got to 11 o'clock and you let us know what we're gonna do. Are we gonna make this weight or not? And then it just seemed like to me you wanted a way out and you just took it.
Yeah. But could your son had made any money out of it after paying everybody?
Who was everybody?
I don't know. He kept telling me the cut man, the gym rental. It was going over all the different people that he had to pay.
I don't know what he told you, but I mean, like, he didn't really have a manager. You know what I'm saying? I was always managing him for free. So that's 20-30% that he could have kept. So I'm not sure what he
I
told
don't know
you.
that.
And I'm not sure what all his expenses are. I mean, he a grown man, so I don't know if he got cameraman or whatever they charge. I'm not sure of. But to my knowledge, he would have made some money out of it. He would have made some decent money.
Well, he works hard. So I'm telling you, almost got everything done. Yes. Anything else you want to talk about, Rob?
What you want to talk about?
No. Well, no. You did a good job. My God.
No, this is great.
You know, just ask you a question. I did radio for 10 years up in Portland with Michael Thompson, Clay Thompson's dad. And this is, you know, I think this is so much better because you can edit it. People can watch it when they want to watch it. Like, you know, we're going to put it on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And so if you want to watch it, whenever you want to watch it, show people the show, it comes on. It's not like, well, you better watch it at 10 o'clock because it comes on 10 o'clock and you won't be able to watch it again.
Well, do you tell people about when they come to Las Vegas, if they're looking for a house, then use Portfolio Realty, you know?
Oh, we can.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
Let's do that because I mean that's my real estate.
We can advertise anything.
Jackie Boostill's the broker, and me and her partners in the.
Okay, what we can do because this won't be on
Portfolio Realty. Put that Portfolio Realty.
We can edit. We can edit whatever. No, we can put whatever you want in.
Oh, Portfolio Realty.
And we'll put on the website. On the affiliate page. We'll
put
keep
whatever
it on
you
there.
want.
Portfolio
So
Realty.
it'll just stay there.
Don't worry, we'll get it. We'll get it
When
down
you
there.
come to Vegas and you're looking for a house, don't go looking anywhere else. Come to Portfolio. Put Portfolio in your portfolio. How about that?
We'll get all the numbers, telephone numbers, and everything for you.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, we'll do it.
Yeah,
So
sir.
we want you on, though, often to talk about whatever you want to talk about because you got a good personality. You talk, and after I start getting better and I can kick his butt and something.
Stop. But that's anytime. You my man. I respect you, Kermit. And I'm going to tell you something. There's not a lot of people that earn my respect. You know what I'm saying?
That's nice.
A lot of people, I give everybody respect all the time. Most people lose it, right? And some people earn more. Like you a real class act. You're a real good guy.
That's nice.
And I respect you.
Well, that's nice. I appreciate that.
But I still will kick you behind.
Wait. We used to work out with 4 guys. I come back, only one left was Rock.
Whoops.
Thank you, Rock. That's wonderful. That's really good.
Anytime.
Okay, we'll put.
Okay, so that was part 2 of our Hasim the Rahman interview. We want to thank Hasim for coming by, for spending time with us, and for sharing his championship story. I want to say thanks to everybody who tuned in, all of your likes, comments, subscriptions, all the positive feedback we've been getting. We're really appreciative of it. It's very exciting knowing that we're getting this kind of positive support coming right out of the gate. And with having so many great guests lined up already, we're really excited moving forward. So thanks again for that. Special thanks to someone who was very instrumental in helping us to get this up and running, Miss Juliarachelle. It's Julia's music that you hear on our intro and our outro. You can check her out on Linktree, Juliarachelle, on Instagram, YouTube, at Juliarachelle. She's got some great music, so please go check that out. Someone else who was very important in helping us get going, Mr. Mike Thornton. Please check out Mike's Nickel City Mafia podcast. It's at Nickel City Mafia on YouTube. It's got a great football show, and especially if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, I think you'd really enjoy that. In addition to YouTube, we're also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Amazon, Pandora, and soon we'll be on Instagram and TikTok. So wherever it is that you get your podcasts or whatever platforms you use, please check us out. So thank you, and we will see you next time.